Oh, what am I getting paid from?
Yeah, why am I getting paid? I don't have anything.
Yeah.
I'm not getting anything. And it took a while. And then I remember I started school, and then I got a job actually here in town with the Petro Lewis Oil Company here in Denver. So I came up to Denver and worked for them for a little bit. But then they something happened, and when all the oil companies crashed at that point in time in the '80s, and I didn't have a job, so I went to school,
Yeah.
and actually VA paid for my school, so I actually had a scholarship. I got a scholarship there to Metro, and so I had a scholarship, so I got my VA, and I lived on my VA money, which wasn't very much. I paid
Mm.
my rent, and I could buy ramen noodles.
Jesus. Ramen noodles and pay my rent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what year was that?
Like 80 when all that happened, started going to school was like 83, I think 83, 80.
And when did you actually join the police force?
So I joined the police force in 1984. I got in the police force in '84,
Wow.
and then I got kicked out.
Kicked out.
Yeah,
For what?
I don't know. I think I was
You're having some problems?
probably, I don't know. They probably saw it and gone. So then I left and I just worked a bunch of different jobs for a long time. And then I got on the Denver Sheriff's Department
Okay.
and I worked there for a while, and I got on their SWAT team there for a while.
You're on the SWAT team.
Yeah, I've been their SWAT team there.
Wow.
But I did a lot of their um, escorts. So I'd travel back and forth from California and do escorts back and forth. And I go out and see Jerry Plotkin, who I told you about, was with us, who was a civilian. He came back and they wrote some bad stuff about him in a newspaper,
Really?
and he sued him. He actually had one of Michael Jackson's attorney as one of his attorneys, and he sued him. And they took us back and forth to court for 4 years.
Who wrote something bad about him?
A newspaper, I don't know if I can say that or not.
No, it's
But
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to say. Yeah, I
But,
don't like getting somebody in
but
trouble.
yeah, so he sued him. They took us back into court, back and forth to court for 4 years, and we never had to testify, never testified, but they took care of us. They brought us back and forth. And on the 4th year, we finally testified in the morning. They got us in the stand. And it was weird because that day when we were there to testify, they got some that courtroom was full. There were Marines and Army and Navy, and there was everybody and people in suits we didn't even know. I mean, it was like who knows who was there.
What were they saying about him, whoever they were?
About him,
Yeah.
that I forgot, let me see. Well, I'll tell you what they did. The newspaper wrote an article about saying that the only reason he was in Iran was because he was running guns and drugs.
Oh, they were trying to say that he was like doing
Yeah.
like
But that
big
journal,
time
and they found out that
crimes.
journalist wrote that article. They found out the journalist lied. He quoted a couple of federal agencies, and they said, no, that's not true.
Wow.
So he sued him, and he went to court for years. From years, in the 4th year, we got up to testify. And I remember they got us up to testify. And I was up there, it was my turn. I get up there, and this guy's jumping all over me, and this and that, and whatever, and whatever.